Hi, my name is Pavel, and this is a C# exercise where we will be working with Windows forms. The final form, or what we are going to be doing, is looking something like this. We'll have a bunch of list boxes and buttons that obviously perform something. The first one says load arrays, and when clicked, this will load a text file into all the list boxes, and then we will be able to sort the list boxes by the ID or by name, or we can search by the name by entering the name in the text box, clicking search by name, and we should get the result in another text box. So if I try to sort by ID now, it says arrays were not loaded yet. The same by when I try to sort by name or search. It simply says to make sure that the arrays were loaded and search keyword was entered. So when I click load arrays, this is our text list boxes each displaying a portion of the text file. And you can see they're not sorted in any way. So when we click sort by ID, they sorted by ID, and obviously all the other information has to be sorted accordingly. So the ID corresponds with the name and the discount code and a rate. The same when I click sort by name, it sorts by name, and then all the other corresponding information is being sorted as well. And when I click search by name over here, let's say I'll enter the name Lopez, I'll click search by name, and you can see over here we have information displayed that corresponds with the information in the text file. So that's our final form. That's what we're going to be building. So yeah, let's get to it. All right, so this is our form. As you can see, it's just a bunch of list boxes, buttons, and text boxes. So I'm not going to show you how I did it. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to manage to create a simple form like that. So yeah, let's get coding. But before we do, let me show you the text file that is provided. I put it in my bin debug folder, and as you can see, it only contains one information per line. Normally we would probably have a text file that is looking something like that. You would have it delimited by by comma or space or something. Like one piece of information for a customer would be on one line, the second customer on the other, and so forth. But in this case, it simply says first line is the code or the ID, second line is the name, and third line is the discount code. So that's what I call it in this exercise. So that's one customer, and then next 3 lines is the second customer, another 3 lines the third customer, and so forth. Now in this exercise there's also a rate, you can see here, and the rate is calculated based on the code that is provided. The code A results in a rate 0.03, code F has a rate of 0.05, and so forth. So this is our main information. We will load a list of customer IDs, names, and discount codes from the file. The list can hold up to 10 customers. So that's gonna be a bunch of arrays. We will have customer ID array, names array, and discount codes array. The lookup, we will look up the discount code in array to get the discount rate. Like I said, A has a rate of 0.03, but the rate is not provided in the file. The rate will simply be calculated based on the code that is provided in the file. We will display the data, and we will be sorting the list by ID, by name, and by search. We will be able to search by the name. All right, so this is our blank form. We have no code here yet. So let's get started. So the first thing that we will do, well, we need to initialize, or not initialize, but maybe declare class level arrays. Those are the arrays for the name, ID, and the rate. So we will have a certain number of customers that will be in the array. The array can hold up to 10 customers, but it can be less. So we will need to know how many there are. So we will do integer number of customers. That's gonna be one of our variables, and we will need the arrays. So the first thing we can do is have a constant that will hold. Basically, it will be number 10. That's how many elements there can be in the array according to this exercise. So we will do constant integer array size, and it equals 10. Then we will have our array of IDs, and the IDs in the file are integers. You can see 3030, 1010, and so forth. So we will do our integer array, call it ID, and we will declare it as a new integer array of the array size. Even if there's not 10 customers, we still will have the array size of 10. Now we will do string array, and we'll call it name, and that will equal new string array size. We will have another string, which is the code. You can see the code is FSA. It could be a character, but I'll just do a string. I'll call it code equals new string array of array size. And we will do the rate, and again, the rate is being calculated based on the code, and you can see the rate is in decimal, 0.03, 0.05, and so forth. So let's make it a decimal array, and I'll call it rate equals new decimal array of array size. Now all these arrays have to be corresponding. They have to be in sync to hold, the information correctly. So the element 0 in our ID has to correspond with the element 0 in the rate and code and name. So we have to kind of synchronize them. If we manipulate any of these arrays, we have to manipulate all of them. Now, okay, the first thing you need to do is to load the text file. Again, the text file looks like this. 3 lines of information is per customer. So we'll simply use our file stream to load the arrays, and we'll do it by when we click the load array button. So when I go to the event handler for that, we can do our load event. Now the first thing we'll have I'm going to use a try and else, and just to make sure that if something goes wrong, we have some kind of a way to catch the error and exit the program. So I'm going to declare an integer called I. I'll initialize it to 0, and then I'm going to do the try catch. So in our try, I will load the arrays from the file, right? And so we will do a file stream, I'll call it fs, equals new file stream, and I have it in my, like I said before, into bin and debug folder. So all I have to do is now simply call the file name, or type the file name, which is called cs12txt, and we will do it in our file mode dot open. We'll simply open it for reading. The next line will be our reader, so we will do our stream reader, call it as r equals new stream reader, and we will pass the stream, which is the fs, which is open for reading. So now that should load our files, and now we have to display them as well. So we will do a while loop. That's why I have an index of I. We will do a while loop until the file is being read. So while our stream reader dot peak, and you can see peak reads the next character without changing the state of the reader. So basically when it reaches the end, then we will stop reading the file. So when that doesn't have a value of -1, which means it's the end of the file, there's nothing else to read. So we will read until this condition is being met. So until it is, or as long as this condition is not being met, we will be reading the file. So we will do our if our number of customers is less than name dot length. I'm loading the name. It doesn't matter, it could be IDs, or because they're all the same. Like if you have 10 IDs, then there will be 10 names and there will be 10 raids. So you just pick one value that you will kind of match the rest against. So as long as there are a number of customers, which right now is initialized at 0, right here, number of customers is 0. So as long as that is true, we will create our arrays. We will populate our arrays. So we will do our ID, ID, and it's gonna be the index of number of customers, and we will give it it's an integer, it's an ID, so we will do a convert dot to integer 32. And what we are converting? Well, we are converting the line that we are reading. So the SR, the stream reader dot read line. All right, so oops, this is not there. It's supposed to be here. So now we have our ID, because ID is first in the text file. Now we're going to do the name. So if our code, name, again the number of customers, and we will simply, we don't have to convert this is a string, so we will do a stream reader read line. Remember, each of this information is on separate lines, so we will simply read in one line after another. And the first line is the ID, the second line is the name, and third line is the rate or code. Yeah, it is actually code. The rate is calculated from the code, sorry. So it's the discount code. So we have our name. Now let's do the code. The code is a letter, it's a character, so again we don't have to convert anything. We will simply read the line as is. Okay, that's it. We have 3 pieces of information in the file. The actual rate is being calculated from the discount code, but it's not being read from the text file. So this is the only 3 pieces of information we are reading. But now we have to, of course, increase our counter, or in this case is the number of customers. We have to move to the next line, to the next index for the IDs, I mean for the arrays. So this is true, else, and we can say something like message box. Like if you try to read more than there are available elements, because remember the arrays are supposed to be only up to 10 in length, so this is really not necessary, but yeah, it's good to catch these kind of errors in case they actually happen. So we will have our show, and we will pass, I'll call it error array size has been exceeded, or something like that. Like if there's too many elements, or if we try to load more than 10, right? So okay, so that's that. We can do the whole box, the whole notification box, array size exceeded, and we will do our message box buttons. I will just do OK if there's nothing else the user could do, and message box icon, we can do the exclamation point dot exclamation. I'm just doing this kind of for your reference, in case you know, kind of show you how to construct message boxes. This really is not all that necessary for this particular exercise. All right, so and if this is true, if it comes over here, we don't have to do anything else. Let's break out from the whole loop because we're done. So basically, get out of loop. Arrays are full. Oops, there you go. So again, the name that length has to be up to 10. That's the array. If we try to load, if like let's say we add more customers into the file, it will only load 10, because that's what the exercise says, up to 10. So this is our end if, so I can see what the of these parentheses mean, and this is our end loop. All right, so when we are after we load the file and fill the arrays from the file, we can close the stream. So close file, and now let's do the catch. The catch is simple. We will do an exception. I'll call it X, and we will simply do another message box. I'm just gonna copy the whole thing. So if there's no file, if the file is not found or something, it will come to the exception, and we will do error opening file. I don't know, let's say data not loaded, and again we can do the exclamation point there. So if there's no file, or it's corrupt or something, it doesn't load, it comes over to the catch, and it will simply display the error associated with the problem, which in this case would be the file was not found or is corrupt. All right, so we have that, and now we can do our we can do the assigned rate based on the discount code. But that I'm going to be actually creating a function, so which I will call assign rate. I don't have it yet, so it's gonna be red. And after that, what I'm going to be doing, when I have the arrays loaded and I have the rate ready, we can display the whole thing. So we can call another function, which I will create, and it's gonna be called display arrays. Okay, so so this will display information in the list boxes. All right, so that's good enough for now, and in the next part we will start creating these functions and loading the information into the list boxes. So stick around and I'll see you then.